Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555. For your message or massages, come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot.
Depot on the beat.
May your comings and goings be forever covered by the grace of the Most High. When in doubt, go within. Bestie, today, the 12th of August 2025, the next 3 days, darling dears, is a gift of abundance. You see, with the live reads now, I'm going to give you the planetary energies first so you understand what areas you're going to be gifted in, okay? And then we're going to get into the astrology, the tarot and everything surrounding it. Hold on a minute, let me just refresh my screen so I can see who's here. So if you enjoy this read with me giving you the transits of that particular day, I will only do it for the live reads. Then please hit me up in the comments, darling. There's not the comment on this live reading, on the comments on the, anyway. Let me carry on, darling dears. Let me press on. Audra Die, Big Cat Wave. Glad you could pop in, darling dears. The gift, darling dears, the gift. The blessing they could not block. You have to remember, anything that is for you will not miss you. The proof they cannot erase. Okay, the transits for the next 3 days from the 12th to the 14th of August. Venus is conjunct to Jupiter in Cancer, and it merges the planet of love with money, beauty, with the planet of expansion, blessings, justice, right in the heart-centered, legacy-driven sign of Cancer, right? The 12th of August is about home and legacy upgrades, housing, family ties, and your emotional base of stability, blessings, darling. There's protection, the emotional abundance, richness in love, safety, and belonging outweighs material gains. Healing for family and karmic roots, old wounds and ancestral rifts begin to resolve or reverse. Magnetism in nurturing spaces, opportunities flow where you feel safe, warm, or creatively at home, darling dears. Recognition for care and authenticity, kindness. Lead with kindness, darling dears, because it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. The golden 3-day portal, darling dears, from the 12th to the 14th is perfect for love beginnings, investments, launches, or reconciliation with lasting benefits, darling dears. Okay, the house placements for each zodiac sign. Aries, it will be in the 4th house of family and healing, property upgrades. Taurus, the 3rd house for fated conversations, reconciliations, writing or teaching luck, darling dears. For Gemini, it will be the 2nd house for your financial inflow, luxury purchases, value system alignment. Cancer, it will be the 1st house for personal glow up, love, magnetism, self reinvention, bloody hell. Allow me, yeah. Mercury's direct in Leo, but allow me, yeah. All right, let's press on, darling dears. Let's press on. For Leo's is in the 12th house of secret blessings, karmic closure, private emotional fulfillment. Virgo is the 11th house of friendships, being restored, viral exposure, team success. Libra, the 10th house, career evaluation, public recognition, dream role offers coming in, darling dears. For Scorpio, it will be the 9th house of international opportunities, publishing, spiritual expansion. Sagittarius, it will be the 8th house of debt relief, deep intimacy, legacy investments. Capricorn, it will be in the 7th house for relationship upgrades, powerful allies, contracts being signed. For Aquarius, it will be the 6th house for work praise, health recovery, daily life enhancement. And for Pisces, it will be in your 5th house for a romantic spark, creative wins, joyful risk that will pay off, darling dears. Okay, let's dive into the read. I'm going to lead with the Mirror, Big Cat Wave. Gabby Jones, Big Cat Wave. Mel, Wagwan. Let's give it a good shifty. So only for the live reads will I give you the planetary placements for that day, darling dears, okay? Okay, giving it a good shifty. I've got charms, dominoes, rune stones. I got everything, like that song. Peas, greens, tomatoes, darling dears. But mine's are what? Divination tools. Right, digging right to the bottom, darling dears. Whatever my hand touches on, right about now. Oh, we have a domino, darling dears. Good golly. And the gosh. The energy of the 4 and the 3. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. This speaks about what? Happiness, darling dears. Happiness. This is what we want, and this is what is being gifted to you at this moment in time. You have to remember this 3-day portal, this window, darling dears, is the luckiest aspect of 2025. So pay close attention. If you didn't get the houses it falls for you, rewind, darling dears, but not right now while we're talking about what's going on. The energy of the 3, darling dear, speaks about conflict and gossip. People are having a nerve-wracking period over your blessings. They always do, darling dears. The energy of the 4 also speaks about lots of letters, lots of form of communication, whether in person, email, snail mail. And for some, this could also speak about somebody walking into a situation where someone or something is going to have a profound effect on your life. A love affair is on the offing for some. Okay, Leader Dan, Big Cat Wave. But darling dears, you have to remember, they heard about your retreat, but that hush was power in disguise. Every door closed fueled your secret rise. Never forget that, darling dears. Every door closed is not for you. What is for you will never miss you, darling dears. But because you haven't understood the energy of the 13th degree on your birth natal chart, and that was being unlocked during the 8-8 Lion's Gate, darling dears. Okay, let's press on, darling dears. Windell, Wagwan, fist bump. Glad you could pop in, sir. I bet you're surprised. Anyhow, we shall carry on, darling dears. It's very hot in here. Hold on, let me turn on my fan. Right, let's press on, darling dears. Now the softness that you're blooming, darling dears, is what? Is the undercurrent of the doubt that they had in you. What they dismissed as absence is your silent crescendo. The world bends to what they feared you couldn't build. Now abundance comes wrapped in the strength. The strength of what? The overlooked, the underestimated, the one they thought was going down, Bobby Brown. Remember I told you that. Watch it land, because the receipts don't lie. Right. Let's carry on, darling dears. You have the energy of what? A 7. You're holding this energy at this moment in time. The energy of the 7 is 7, 16, and 25. Whenever we see the numbers 2 and 5, darling dears, know that somebody in a public position is going down, Bobby Brown. We're all going to see it, mate. On TikTok, YouTube, everybody's going to see this shiznai, darling dears. And you will say, yes, well, Case did mention, I mentioned everything, darling dears. Everything. All right, let's press on. Let's press on. The energy of the 7, representative of the letters G, P, Y. It's ruled by Neptune and the letters O and Z. Okay? The energy of the 7 tells me that at this moment in time, you are utilizing your psychic abilities, which is fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. It tells me that you are highly intuitive at this moment in time. But it also has got you in what? Analytic mode, darling dears. Analyzing what you've been through and what you can achieve. Why? You have to remember, when we are achieving goals, darling dears, we reach for the moon. And if we land in the clouds, we're halfway there. This is why you had to what? Shut that door. Okay, the energy of the 7, as I said, is Neptune. Neptune is the 12th house. The 12th house is the house of subconscious undoing. Okay, it could represent drugs. It could also speak about the karmic debt. Somebody's going through some form of mental illness at this moment in time. They're utilizing some form of escapism. Okay, the 12th house is also the house of hospitals, prison. And it's also the house of the dead, darling dears. Pole bearers are turning up in this reading as well. So somebody's going to be, what? Pushing up daisies, darling dears. They'll be pushing up daisies. It's also the house of blackmail. Somebody was blackmailed in a situation, darling dears. But they're realizing that all they did with this blackmail was what? Kidnap the truth roof. Pinkies up. You have all of the intel, darling dears. Everything comes from within. All right. Shall we press on? Yes, let's press on. The energy of the 11th house, sorry, the 12th house also speaks about utilizing your imagination. The energy of the number 7 also represents the south node. So it's things that happened in your recent past or your past lives, darling dears. Everything is on the table. And this 3-day portal, this window, as I said, is the luckiest aspect of 2025. Utilize it. Rewind and find the house that is falling in for you and use that energy to win. This is what we do as what? A prototype of your lineage. As what? The Big Cat Chronicles continues. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. Oracle 7100. Big Cat Wave. Love it. I don't hate it. All right. Let's press on. Let's press on, darling dears. So the energy of the 7, according to the 48 laws of power, is about what? Others doing the work on your behalf. They're going to be working on your behalf, darling dears. You have the element of the 3. The 3 speaks about gossip, right? People feeling what? Down pressed by whatever achievements you are achieving or will be achieving when you utilize the energy of this 3-day portal on the back of the Lion's Gate 8-8 portal, darling dears. Once you've understood your 13th degree on your birth natal chart, we've all got something at 13 degrees. I've only got one thing, and my one is my son in the 9th house, darling dears, the house of God, right? So I have to publish, I have to speak, darling dears, I have to prophesize, not because I wanted to, but because this is all part of your path. This is why you must pay attention to your birth natal chart. It's your blueprint, right? You can get predictive charts to see how things are going to unfold, but remember, you always have a choice. Hey Leah, are you fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely? I see you, darling dears. I see you. All right. Let's press on. Let's press on. So they're talking about the big cat, are they? There's nothing else to talk about. You are it. They're arguing amongst themselves. Let them. Let them. Let's give it a good shufty. The energy of the 4, darling dears, also according to the 48 laws of power, is what? Say less. Say less than necessary. While you are in observation mode. If you are living in the energy of the 7, darling dears, you are in analytic mode. Okay? So say less. Say not. Don't tell them nothing. Pay attention. This is why we've only got what? 1 mouth and 2 ears. Make them be big and broad so you hear everything that's going on. So that nothing misses you. The energy of the 3, darling, is also what? What you must do going forward. According to the 48 laws of power, conceal your intentions. And again, it goes back to the say less. Don't let people know what your next move is. They don't need to know about your finances. They don't need to know about your relationship. And then sure as shiz naive, must never know about your next move. I've got 2 rules here at Don't Get Smoked Central, right? The first rule is tell no one nothing. And if you're waiting for the second rule, you're a dummy batch. You're not my tribe. Ha ha! Let's press on, darling. Oh, right? Somebody's going to try and cyberbully you, darling dears. Or they may try to what? Give you intel via messages. You've been getting some kind of message from someone from the past, somebody who's very upset. You're being bullied online. Or they has suffered from it, or they're about to suffer from it. I couldn't understand my own reading, darling dears. Somebody's been trying to cyberbully you in the background, darling dears, with messages, possibly online, trying to get you to what? Get on their side, get in the flow of their wickedness. And look where they are, in their head, darling dears. They're creating that's created of mush. Why? Because it's in the crevice of the devil's balls. I keep telling you that. They're all in their head. Again, the energy of the 3. The gossip, darling. There's the gossip mongers. And as I said, the 12th house, somebody's going to be about to go through some form of legal issue. That's their business. Don't help no one. Save no one. Save yourself. Base of the deck, darling. Fake smile. Listen, bestie, the reads always line up. Don't let no one come and fake smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers. Well, better yet, front stabbers, darling. There's the ones that go for the white meat. Right. Let's press on. Let's get a deck. Something that I haven't used in a while. I want to use my black deck, but good golly and gosh, they're so hard to pick up from the table. But it is what it is. This is something I haven't used in a while. On the base of your deck, darling dears, we've got the 5 of Cups. Somebody wanted you to still be crying into your fist, darling dears, over what happened in the past. But Divine has gifted you with the 2 of Cups. What you are attracting, what is for you at this moment in time. It also speaks about what? Emotional lessons that you went through. You had to end many relationships, darling dears. It also speaks about the despair and the regret of those you left behind. This is why there's infighting, darling dears. And trust and believe, there is sadness and bitterness. They are what? Cohorts. Somebody didn't like that you left the situation. Well, that's their business, mate. They better get used to it. When a big cat says you're cut off, you are cut off alive. And they don't make a decision like that easily. You look at their actions not lining up with their words. All right. Oh, I'm loving all of the love you're giving me, darling dears. What does that mean when you keep getting red hearts? I'm so busy with so many things, darling dears. I'm in the process of writing my 3rd book, minding my own business, and that in itself is a full-time job. Ha ha! Right, let's get to the read, darling dears. Let's see what gift they're going to have to watch as you unwrap it. What's going to happen when they actually see you're winning and not sinning? Fell right out, darling dears. They're going to be in their feelings, darling dears. The devil has turned up himself. And you have to remember, the devil is Capricorn, darling dears. Saturn energy. Saturn that comes with the rules and the regulations. They're going to be in their feelings, right? Some of them maybe even try to loop you back into a situation, a sexual situation. Listen, I already told you, pay your bomber clock knees. Listen, we've got to bring the Jamaican at this moment in time. Are you kidding me, blood? A situation that you've actually overcome. They would love for you to come back. And get worse than whatever it was they was dealing out before. Remember, this is the shadow, darling dears. Whoever this person is, they're addicted to some form of alcohol and drugs. Yes, this is somebody that possibly brought some physical abuse into a situation. And treated you like you're nothing but a bit of fun. Even that alone makes me very upset, darling dears. Why? You are he or she for whom the sun rises. Good golly and the gosh. Devil energy, darling. They're going to be very upset, but they can't do you nothing. Many of them would like to give you a good punch up or even squabble with you in the dust, darling dears, but they can't do you a damn thing. Why? You are being protected at this moment in time. I've given you the zodiac information of what house that they may try to come up at you again, come against you. Oi, I wish my tongue wasn't playing with me, darling dears. I wish it wasn't, but it is what it is. Just hold on, bestie. I'm getting you all of the intel. Look at the house that the Jupiter and Venus is in for you, darling dears. That was at the top of the read, and this is the devilish energy that they're trying to put on it, the shadow, darling dears. They're very upset, darling dears. This is plotting. This is someone trying to be strategic. What else about your win is going to come through? What else about your winning? Thank you. What did I say? Your hard work is paying off, darling dears. This is recognition. This is you being seen as a master craftsperson in your field. Remember, I told you that. This is a blessing from the Most High. I told you. Divine has wrapped it up in as a gift, darling dears. Everything is coded. Well, guess what? The decoder is here. And you remember always when you come here, I'm a big mouth, a blabbermouth. I will give you the usher, darling dears. And it will burn for they, them, and never the big cat. Why? You are wise, darling dears. And when you walk with the wise, you are wise. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. Why? Because you've committed to a new direction. And not only that, your winning is what? Raising the bar. Many of you are working with your hands, darling dears. You've acquired new skills, right? Any past situation when you see the Eight of Pentacles in the upright was a marriage of convenience. Whether it was an actual marriage, something to do with your progeny, darling dears. Something to do with the writing of a will. As I said, somebody's going down Bobby Brown, darling dears. They'll be pushing up daisies in the not too distant future. Could be in as many as what? 7 days or 7 months. Remember, this is key. So the writing of a will. Somebody is actually going to be writing somebody out of their will. Listen, if you're writing someone out of your will, they deserved it, darling dears, because you are a big cat and you think about things very deeply. What else about your winning? Yeah, it's coming, darling dears. It's coming, but you have to also be careful of what the people with the fake smiles. The Knight of Cups in the upright. This is someone who's extremely charming. They're fabulous, darling dears, right? Fabulous, but straight from 911 Freddy Krueger Avenue in the district of the Dam, darling dears, on Loser Lane. Somebody wants to come and charm you in a situation. Wait, where's my tiny cards? So they're going to be extremely upset, darling dears. Tell me something more about the devil energy. The shadow that they want to bring back into your hemisphere. Queen of Wands, the gossip monger, spell casting, anything to bend your mind. This is someone who is extremely jealous. On the devil card, darling dears, jealous and envious of what you are able to achieve. They thought you would what? Go down Bobby Brown, right? Be pushing up daisies as they came to your funeral, singing what? Shall we gather by the river? In falsetto, with no tears on their face. Yeah, that's what they wanted, darling dears. That's what they wanted. What about this hard work you've been doing? Learning new things, higher learning. And the higher learning could be what? Spiritual learning. The energy of the 8 is also what? The 8th house, darling dears. The 8th house of rebirth. Divine is gifting you with many options, darling dears, but you have to be wise. One of these cups, darling dears, is full of wickedness. I told you someone is coming through to charm you, right? With fake smiles. Maybe even to try and draw you into their legal issues. Don't do it, bestie. Don't do it. Tell me something more about the Knight of Cups. Look what's on the base of the deck. The devil himself, darling dears. 2 different decks, and you know this shadow is coming. Tell me something else. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. Yeah. This is about you continuing to what? Assess your abilities. You don't want a temporary situation that's just tacked onto the wall. You want something solid, a new foundation. Somebody's also going to be traveling, darling dears, and we love the travel. Okay. We have the energy of the 2, darling dears. The energy of the 2 is the high priestess. Again, listen to your intuition and your discernment, darling dears. And as I said, this offer is coming in. This person is going to be traveling from a distance. This is not somebody in your local area that's going to be coming towards you with the fake smiles. Split the deck, darling dears. Shut that shit down. 3 of Wands on its forehead, darling dears. Shut that shiznai down. Remember, their words never lined up with their actions. People are trying to play into the fact that what? You are a sucker and will forever be a sucker. Well, guess what? Big cat, be the sucker that outsmarts the sucker. Play fool to be wise. You have to remember sometimes you have to go into a situation to collect intel. Tell me something more about this offer that they want to come through with. They're wicked and they're coming with intent, darling dears. They're not happy with the fact that Divine has gifted you with a Lazarus. They didn't like the fact that you've uncovered that these people was plotting since Wapi killed Philippe, right? From since before your coat, like Joseph, was many colors, before you understood, right, the weight, the spiritual weight you carry. Yeah, you left that situation too sweet, darling dears. You're in calmer waters at this moment in time. We love it. We don't hate it. The 6 of Swords speaks about you moving on, darling dears. The 6 of Swords, when we see it, it also speaks about no contact, right? Silencio. Let's go back to the energy of the 4. Say less. And the energy of the 3. Conceal your intentions. But you can be, what? Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Okay. Let's press on, darling dears. Do I have another question in me? Okay, what is going to be their full-on realization that you are actually living the life that they plotted to scupper? That they wanted you on the rocks of life, darling dears, crying, begging for someone who is lower than you, darling dears, on the totem pole, right, for help. They that plotted on you, darling dears, wanted your ruin. Okay, we love it. Do we love it? We love it, darling dears. We got the 3 of Pentacles. Again, this is you being recognized in your field. It could be crypto, but this is definitely online. When we see the Pentacles, it also speaks about your health, darling dears. Somebody's had questions about your health. I told you they wanted you to pop your clogs and be pushing up daisies, but that's not going to happen for you, darling dears. You have to remember, when you take yourself out of situations that is blood pressure making, darling dears, blood pressure making, right? Everything improves. They're like a fart lingering, darling dears. Once they fuck off, it's a beautiful day. They tried to ruin everything that he was building, darling dears. The 3 of Pentacles in the upright. Good golly and the gosh. And they're not sorry about it, darling dears. They're sorry that they didn't take you all the way down. When we see the 3 of Pentacles, it's Mars in Capricorn, darling dear. So this is you being assertive. Mars, as we already saw with the Devil card coming out twice, right? They're going to try and work on your shadow side, darling dears. Your shadow side, to bring it out of you. Bring you into what? Unnecessary argumentation. Don't do it, bestie. Don't do it. Go towards the light. Be Caroline for yourself. Especially over the next 3 days, darling dears. The luckiest aspect of 2025. Remember, I told you that. Okay. This also speaks about teamwork. Some of you need to be working in a team, or it's about you what? Outsourcing. Energy again is the energy of the 7, darling. Just allow others to do the work for you. Some of you are going to outsource. Maybe you're going to get a team, or people will be sent on your path, darling dears. The energy of the 7, according to the low shoe grid, darling dears, it's about children, it's about your creativities, and it also speaks about entertainment. The energy of the low shoe grid, the energy of the 7, it says this is going to happen in fall. Fall for those of you in the USA or anywhere else, but in the UK it's autumn. So this is stuff that's approaching you now, darling dears. So be on the alert. They try to break everything down, but they can't ruin what is for you. Sometimes you have to remember divine will lift up certain people out of your life. Why? Because they must not be in your presence when you are being blessed, darling dears. They cannot be. They are what? Nothing better than little finger. Who's going through the what? Wiki dub-plate remix of wickedness, darling dears, that they co-created when they was waiting for your downfall. They didn't know that you are a diamond. You always were. You was always the gift in every situation. It sucks to be them right now. Sucks and blows. Whatever you did, darling dears, your position, whatever you took, you forced them into a corner. Law number 39 of the 48 laws of power. You had to stir up the waters to catch this fish. You made them panic. And when they panic, what do? They expose themselves. It also speaks about what? This person that's going to be exposed or exposing themselves through words. Again, the energy of the 3 communication. The 3rd house is also representative of younger siblings. If it's not your siblings, darling, it could also represent your progeny. Okay. It also encumbers law number 14, as I said. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Listen, I can do that, darling dears. Of course I will take your fake smiles, but trust and believe, you will not cross my threshold. It is locked down. And I told you, a squirrel can't take a nut in my garden, not without me seeing on my ring door cameras. Hey! Yeah. Spiritual, darling dears. This is a spiritual release that you are going through at this moment in time. Again, it's a reminder of your self-worth. And it could represent feminine energy. Okay. They try to dampen down your intuition and your discernment, darling dears. They didn't believe you when you used to tell them things like, I'm psychic, or I just know. They never understood that dynamic within you, darling dears. But yet you was the one that came through with the Pentacles. All they did was offer into fuckeries, darling dears. Fuckeries. They gossiped about you. Like you're not the baddest of them all. Tell me something more about your winning season. Thank you. You got an 11-11 fade, and we love that, darling dears. We love it for you. This is new business contacts. This is you moving to new places. Somebody's about to be relocated, whether you buy a property or it's rented. And it's going to be sudden, darling dears, unexpected, but it's going to be to your what requirements. We love that. We don't hate it. The energy of the 4 of Wands, darling dears. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. It speaks about you being blessed with what? Stable relationships. You are getting peace and harmony. And it also speaks about the romance, darling dears, as well as an adventure. As I said, the energy of the 4 speaks about somebody going into a love situation. But like I said, bestie, if you're going into a love situation, get their Chinese zodiac. See if they're your enemy sign. See if they'll be working with you or against you. If you're stuck, hit me up in the Gmail. I can do readings for you. I do predictive charts. Listen, I'm the baddest of them all when it comes to the reads. Yeah, you have a new beginning, darling dears. But it's something. Right? High Priestess energy. This is something internal. You had to what? Raise your vibration to be in the position to accept these blessings that are coming your way, darling. This new beginning. This also speaks about parties and celebrations. You're going to be stepping into a season where people are going to recognize you for whom you are, darling dears. You've been celebrated as a master craftsperson in your field. Why? Because you're different. Why? Because you're unique. Why? Because you're a big cat, darling dears. The prototype. You are ibex. Have you ever seen an ibex? They run up sheer-faced mountains. And when they have their babies, they have to climb up there to get the nutrients in order to survive. Okay. What is the public scene that is about to unfold and forces them to what? Clench their teeth and pretend to clap? What's going to force them to clench their teeth in your winning season? Fell off the back end, darling dears. Good golly and the gosh. 9 of swords, darling dears. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. The spell word, the negative words, darling dears, and the narrative. Swords is about words, speaking, everything, darling dears. Everything is going to be revisited back on them, and they're going to have to take it without the Vaseline, and they better clench their teeth. Most definitely, darling dears. And we got the Queen of Swords. When we see the Queen of Swords in the reverse, darling dears, not only are you cold, you are factual. We've got 10 of Swords, darling dears. You getting over the back, front, neck, tabbing. And you realizing that what you was dealing with, the feeble-minded, simpletons, darling dears, people that were never on your level, right? This is why you had to let go of many in this season. And you will have to let go of more. Yeah. What's that window? You're laughing? Laugh, darling dears. Let's all laugh together. Ha ha! Yeah, you need to laugh and realize what you command. You had to overcome situations that was sent to what? Keep you stuck in loops, darling dears. Right? A lot of mental energy here that you had to apply to a situation. But you had to remember that God was very tricky. God is very tricky. You know why? People that don't understand, they're looking for help from outside of you. God hid himself inside each and every one of us. But you have to get quiet. This is why I say at the beginning of the read, if in doubt, go within. The answers will come to you, but you have to be asking the right question. Whose birthday is it? I see happy birthday here. Is it you, Oracle 7100? Is it your birthday? If it is, big cat wave. Your solar return. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. What's your Chinese zodiac sign? Let me do a quick reading for you before I finish this read. Do you know it? Let's press on, darling dears. You're going to be, you're stone cold. You're stone cold in this situation. Queen of Swords is someone that you can't F with, darling dears. Why? Because you know what's going on. But as I said, if you want to glean any information, if you want to play a sucker to catch a sucker, right? Work as a spy, you're going to have to hold this shiznai down. But are you really, have you really got that amount of time? Are you really going to go backwards just to prove everything that you said was right? When you already said what you said in my Nene Leak's voice? Remember, many are called, but few are chosen. And when God opens doors, no one can close it. I nearly said divorce. Listen, pinky's up, Freudian slip, meant to come out. Tell me something more. As they clench their teeth. As they what? View your wins. Tell me something more. Page of Cups, they're going to try and come back in, darling dears. The Page of Cups is, yeah, they're psychic, darling dears, but it's used for manipulation. This person is extremely immature. If this is not your progeny, they're very immature, darling dears, right? You need to allow that. This is about you, what? Falling back. Mind your business, darling dears. Whoever's coming back to apologize, it's going to be a fake apology, and it's going to be a tiny apology that you can barely hear. Yeah, just like that. I had to make my lips very thin. They're going to come back with a quiet apology, darling dears, but the cards are saying allow it, right? If it's someone from the past, allow that shiznai. Look what you went through in order to get where you are. This is your time when you what? Do you boo, as Eleanor Roosevelt said. Well, she didn't say those words, but words to that effect, right? Never forget, they gave you drapetomania, the overwhelming urge to run away like Tinky Winky, but you ran away with the bag. And the bag of abundance is not always monetary. Sometimes the bag of abundance you run away with is your health, darling dears. Finding true soul tribe to be around, right? Being in a field that not only does it bring you joy, it doesn't even feel like work. These kind of things, you get abundance in many ways. Yeah, allow that shiznai, hermit mode. Remember, they made you go from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. This also speaks about the isolation in a situation. You was deliberately iced out of situations, darling dears. They thought they were winning, but now they're sinning. The hermit energy is the energy of the 9, darling dears. The ninth house in astrology is the house of God. When God calls you to let go of situations, you better pay attention. Why? It will get wicked, darling dears. It will get wicked. Let's get into this some more, into this. Them having to clench their teeth. Where's my tiny cards? So they're going to have to clench their teeth, darling dears. Oh, that's a lot of cards. I'll take the card that fell on them and the one that fell to the side. All right, we've got the King of Swords. They're very upset. Why? Because you've always been futuristic thinking. You was always making plans, darling. You had goals, you had dreams. This is what they tried to prevent, but you can't prevent what is on you, not in you, darling. I mean, in you, not on you, darling dears. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Whenever we see the King of Swords, darling dears, it also speaks about some of you are going to be put into a position of leadership, a position of honor. Why? Because you will be able to guide others with what you have learned from all of the wickedness, darling dears. It also speaks about, it could also represent a father coming into your situation, a male aspect, somebody who's going to be reliable. This could be a friend, it could be a partner, darling dears. Okay. You're going to be put in a position where you're taking charge and they don't like it, darling dear. They have to clench their teeth all they want. They might as well clench up their what? Their scrotum and their ovaries, because it's not going to change. Because when you win, divine claps for you. Your ancestral team are clapping for you. You're going to be put in a leadership position. You're going to be raised up. Why? Because divine is gifting you at this moment in time. This is why it's so important, darling dears, to understand that house that the Jupiter and Venus is in for you. And again, rewind so you understand this, darling dears. Wrap yourself in that. Doesn't matter what they try to take from you, darling. This is what divine is pouring into you. They're having buyer's remorse at this moment in time. But divine has said, you will have a Lazarus, the high priestess, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 1111 fade. Sometimes you have to pretend to have the confidence until you have the confidence, right? Me personally, I'm an ambivert. Yes, I will be an extrovert and go out, but I'm coming back in, blood. And if I go somewhere and I don't like that energy, this is why we have the chariot of righteousness. If I don't feel comfortable, I don't care how long it took me to put on my makeup and a good wig, darling dears, and an outfit that I cannot wear for at least 4 years after that. Why? I don't repeat she's naive, darling dears. No. And there is no God in that situation. This person went against everything that was traditional, that was wholesome, darling dears. Also, when we see the Hierophant in reverse, somebody's got some legal case against them, darling dears, and they're going down. Bobby Brown. We already spoke about the 12th house. Confinement, whether in a mental hospital or the prison with the prisoners, just like R. Kelly and P. Diddy. Okay. Let's press on, darling dears. Let's press on. Do I have another question? So what does divine want you to savor at this moment in time? Let me get in your deck that you're nobody's fool. And when we see the Fool energy, darling, is you're going to have a partner coming towards you. Okay. Remember the Feng Shui guide. Don't get with nobody you can only go with someone that's 6 years younger or 6 years older. Anybody outside of that, you will take on their karma. And we ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, darling dears. Come through, sweet brown. Posh, clap. We love it. We don't hate it. So what does divine want you to savor? What does divine want you to hold close as they got their legal issues in their head, darling, is arguing amongst themselves? That situation is over, darling dears, but it has to be over in your mind, and you're not willing to go back. Whenever we see the World card, darling dears, it also speaks about somebody that would love to come and resurrect a cycle. You've been on a long journey when we see the World card, darling dears. It also speaks about there's a timing factor in the World card. It's 1 year. So 1 year from today, when you look back and you see what's manifested in your life, you will know that you listened to what Case was saying. Not, my name is Case, C-A-S-E, as you can see on the books, Case, right? I told you this was going to happen, but utilize the energy of this 3-day window from the 12th, 13th, and 14th of August, 2025. Very important. Base of the deck. right? Yeah, they're going to try and sneak back into your shiznai, darling dears. But this could also represent you. You are nobody's fool, darling dears. You shut that door, right? Remember that song? First I was afraid, I was petrified. Yes, baby, you was petrified. But you have to remember, everything that they tried to take from you, darling dears, you was maintaining before. What was your life like before this wickedness came into your life? Look back, darling dears, but don't stay there too long. Why? It's for reference material only, darling dears. You stay there long, you'll be in the what? DNS, darling dears, the dark night of the soul. Looping thoughts about things that you don't need to what? Resurrect. The Seven of Swords, darling, this could also represent, as I said, somebody that would like to sneak back into your life. Why? Because they saw that you took a risk. This person is a thief and a liar and possibly a cheater to boot, darling dears. Wherever you ended the situation with you and them, you and they, them and darling dears, they would love to come back. When we see the Seven of Swords, it also speaks about Sputnik, right? The mouth breathers. Spying on everything. They're playing double dutch, trying to decide when they can come back, right? And what do you worse than before with the fake smiles, right? And not only that, they're a spiritual hater. They hate everything that you stand for, darling dears. Everything about you. And this spirituality is what's lifted you up, made you realize that there's more to life than meets the eye. Divine wants you to what? Dust it off, darling dears. This is yesterday's newspaper. Because you're the baddest of them all. When Divine gives you a gift, darling dears, the area that has been activated for you, you can see the money, right? You will get some in that area. And as I said, people are moving. Things are changing. Some people may come back with family ties, trying to resurrect it. When the door is closed, this is about your status. This is about your honor. You got to stand on business, darling dears. Stand on business. We had the Saturn energy. That's the 10th house. They're coming for your status, your finances, darling dears. Right? Trying to see if there's a weak link. They're going to come in and try what? To create a compelling spectacle. Don't get involved. There's so much power in the unanswered text message, darling dears. You saw it. But you don't have to answer it. Just like my phone, I answer it during the daytime when I've got free time to answer my phone. If I haven't got free time or I'm doing something, I could be staring into the wind, darling dears. But it's my prerogative. Don't let nobody draw you back in. Especially from situations that you had to what? Physically shut that door. Anything they come back with is what? Manipulation. Manipulation. Tell me something else. The baddest of them all, Divine is gifting you with all of the tools. Whenever we see the magician represents siblings. It also represents travel, 3rd house. The magician also represents the 6th house as well, darling dears. Your health is your wealth. It also speaks about some of you are changing your dietary practices. You're changing the things that you eat, the things that you put in your mouth, darling dear. Somebody's also going to be getting a new pet, whether it's a bird, it could be an animal, but you're going to be put in a caretaking position, okay? Whenever we see the Gemini energy, somebody was also in the army. That comes up as well, darling dears, okay? But it's most definitely a climate. You are fixing the climate of your health at this moment in time because your health is your wealth. It's all attached to your solar plexus, darling dears. Somebody's also taking a lot of pills. Listen, I don't like the taking of pills, darling dears, but since I had my stroke, I've got no choice. If I want to keep breathing, I got to take them tablets. But I still balance it off. I have my CMOS and all of the things that I put in my CMOS, which I take on a daily basis. But anyway, like I said, this is what's going on. Big cat, this is what God is giving you. The closed door, all of the tools to create what you want. When we see the magician, it also represents a partner coming in, darling dears. Whether it's for business, a soul tribe, or for romance, darling dears. And it says it's a younger partner. If it's more than 6 years, age difference. Ooh, child, get ready for it. Why? Because the temperance, darling dears, you've been on a hard journey. And again, somebody's drinking too much, or using some kind of avoidance in a situation. Don't, darling dears, because you're going to miss your 11-11 fade. 2 different decks, darling dears, in the upright. This is a new beginning. This is travel, darling. There's relocation. This is jobs. This is partying. This is celebrating. This is networking. Many of you have had a season where you've been in a lot of solitary, but solitary was to build you from the inside out. Remember, you have to think like a gangster, but move like a nun. All right. I believe we're out. Are we done? We're going to finish off with angels and ancestors. Let's get the deck. It's 49 minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm a chatty cat. But it is what it is. When it comes with the intel, I tell you everything. You get the usher. Alright, final message for the big cats as they move through their what? 3-day window of manifesting their true desires. Because you understood the 13th degree on your natal chart. Final message for the big cats as we leave this situation with what? Abundance, darling dears. You've had an abundance of information that you can work with. All right. Final cards for the big cat. Thank you. The broken arrow. Embrace the energy of the peace, darling dears. Whatever was broken cannot be fixed. It's just like a mirror. Once it's broken, you might stick it back together, but it will never be the same. Right? Broken arrow is on page 120, which goes to the energy of a 3, darling dears. High priestess energy. It's a reminder of your self-worth and that you are abundant, darling dears. And what you put out there will be returned to you 100-fold. Remember, I told you that, right? Look at this. The page is bent. I didn't bend this. Sometimes when I'm talking slow, divine hurries me along. Okay. The extended message. If you've been exposed to a situation in which you felt the need to protect yourself or defend what you feel is right, know that this is now coming to an end. I told you, world card, everything is over, right? Whom is cut off stays cut off. It doesn't say that, it's what I was saying. Prepare to talk things through and offer the peace that you would like to enjoy. In order to move forward in a more fearless way, it's important for you to let go of the idea that you can be hurt by the situation or people involved. They can't hurt, they can't do you a damn thing. I told you, they'd love to give you a good punch up and tussle with you in the dust, but they can't do you nothing. You can screenshot it and read it in its entirety at your leisure or your leisure. Good golly and the gosh, allow my tongue. Mercury is forward in Leo. What? Wait, let me cut off right there. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Amazon, darling dears. Pick up my books. Or go over to my Teesprings. Buy some of the channel merch. Support the big cat, darling dears. If you want to watch my extended reads, hop, skip and jump over to the Patreon. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.